Hello, good day class. So today we're going to start our lecture. So after our lecture this week, I'm going to give to you your design problem for plumbing, so that you'll be able to exercise what we learn in theory also. Then we're going to do some calculations as well. Okay. So I hope that you all realize how important plumbing is in society, in civilization, and also in our practice as architects. Okay, so let's go back again to the water supply and distribution system. Let's discuss about the materials available for plumbing installation. So the materials available for plumbing installation examples are galvanized iron or steel pipes, which is made out of a mild steel drawn through a die and welded cast into a 6 meter uh, long pipe. Okay, so the standard sizes class of usually steel or rebars when you buy them, it's around 6 meters. But I think you can order um, steel bars to much higher length, depending if you have contact with the supplier. But the standard is around 6 meters. Sometimes there's 7.5, but it would really depend. So, however, steel pipe is subject to deposits of salts and slime, which gradually accumulate and eventually choke the flow of water. Okay, so that's the drawback. So it is subjected to deposits of salt and slime. And then this type of pipe is corroded by alkaline and acid water. That is why when used for hot water line, it deteriorates faster than the cold water supply pipe. So these are the types of pipe for the plastic or synthetic pipe. So when you say rigid type, it's something that is not easily bendable. So it's in place. So I think you can see a lot of those when you try to look at the plumbing system of your homes or in the university. First is you have the PVC or the polyvinyl chloride. Then we have a UPVC, a CPVC or chlorinated polyvinyl chloride. Then we have the unplasticized polyvinyl chloride. Then we have the polypropylene. Then we have the ABS or acrylonitrile butadiene styrene. Then we have the styrene rubber plastic. Then for the flexible type, we have the PE or polyethylene, which is at coil form at 30 meters. The polybutylene or PB up to 150 meters in coil. Okay. So the flexible type class, this is what you usually use when you tap directly to the water main or the water source, then going to the houses. Usually, it would really depend. For example, you have a project in a faraway municipality, then the water main is far away. So sometimes um, they would ask the owner to provide the polyethylene or polybutylene pipe. Polybutylene pipe to be connected to the water main and going to the area. But here in the cities, it's not a problem because we have a stable water connection from the water district. Okay? So familiarize yourselves with the types of pipes. Okay? Then these are the materials available for the plumbing installation. Then we have a cast iron pipe. This is a durable and is conveniently installed in most of the plumbing needs in building which are less than 25 stories high because water usually leaks at joints due to vibrations. Okay, so more than 25 stories less, there's a tendency for the pipe to vibrate. It could be due to the height or it could be due to the movement. Uh, because even in buildings, they sometimes is subjected to motion, especially being hit by the wind load from the four sides. And there are moving loads inside, and also moving loads on surrounding traffic. So it causes it to vibrate. Because of this constant vibration, the joints they leak. Okay? So they begin to leak over time. What we have right now, class, is prevent the leaking from joints. What we usually do in projects is using is to use what you call this fusion weld. Okay, so the pipes, its joints, it's already connected as one whole system. So even if it's already very high, the building's already very high, even if it always vibrates, since it is one system and the parts of the pipes are welded to the fittings, so it acts like one, so it won't leak. Okay? So these pipes here that I mentioned, they are part of what we use in the plumbing system in the past and in some buildings which are not yet updated. Okay, so then let's go to the acid resistant cast iron pipe. It's made of an alloy of cast iron and silicon. It is commonly installed in chemical laboratories where acid wastes are being discharged. Then you have the asbestos pipe. It's made of asbestos, fibers, and Portland cement. So the thickness is twice that of standard cast iron pipe, mostly suited for embedment on concrete structures. Okay, so I think I have some hesitations in using asbestos. Because if, as you have, as you can see, asbestos is a material that is hazardous to health. So let's avoid that one in our projects. Then we have the bituminous fiber sewer pipe, the cheapest, light in weight, recommended for house sewer and septic tank installation. It could take slight soil movement and without danger of cracking or pulling out of its joint. So its advantage is that compared to the cast iron pipe, it can withstand slight soil movement. Okay? Then you have the vitrified clay pipe, which is made from clay with a length of 0.75 meters and treated with a glazed compound. This is highly resistant to most acids and is well suited in underground installations working either as public or house sewer or storm drain. Then we have the lead pipe. So it's one of the oldest plumbing materials. So lead is highly resistant and is very suitable to underground installation. But because it is poisonous and injurious to human health, it is never recommended to convey water human consumption. Okay, so you can only imagine, class, that in the past, when they did not know that lead is quite poisonous, they've been using it. So we are lucky today, in the present, that there are already a lot of alternatives to lead pipe. Okay, but in the past, I'm not sure if they realize how dangerous it is. Because I have read some articles that they even use lead in the makeup of women in the 18th or 17th century. So it led to a lot of deaths. And then their medical science back then, they couldn't figure out why some people are dying. Okay? Then we also have the galvanized wrought iron pipes. This is better than steel pipes for plumbing installation because it is more resistant to acid waste than the steel pipe. Then we have the brass pipe. The most expensive of all types of pipe is made of an alloy of zinc and copper mixed at a proportion of 15% and 85% respectively. So the brass pipe is superior material for waste and water insulation because of its smooth surface aside from its high resistance to acids. Then you have the copper pipes. It's a durable material which is extremely corrosive resistant and the easiest to install. Then let's go to the drainage system. So when you talk about the drainage system, class, it could mean a variety of things. So it could mean the drainage from water from the rain or the storm drain. Okay? It could also mean drainage from the water that you use in your fixtures. Okay, so let's discuss about this now. So what are the basic principle governing according to the National Plumbing Code. First is that all premises intended for human use or habitation shall be provided with a supply of pure and wholesome water, neither connected to unsafe water supply nor subject to backflow or back siphonage. So when you see backflow, it is when uh, the water, instead moving in one direction, it reverses. So that's the meaning of backflow or back siphonage. Then you have plumbing fixtures, devices, and appurtenances shall be supplied with water in sufficient volume and adequate and pressure adequate to function satisfactorily and without undue noise. So sometimes, when there is not enough pressure class, then you could not supply enough water for use in your fixtures. Like for example, in your showers, so there's not enough water for you to use. Okay, so that's the meaning of that one. Okay, so I don't know which areas here in Cagayan de Oro which is a very strong water pressure. But one thing I'm sure is that in my location right now, the water pressure is so great. Sometimes you have to replace the pipes around our house on a regular basis. But there are also some places I know in Cagayan de Oro wherein the water pressure is not enough. Okay? So what are its impact class is that when you design your house and you have no idea on the amount of about the water pressure in that area, and then you design it all to have showers, and then you forgot to install you forgot to install a water tower for your project, then what would happen is that there will during peak hours when everybody in that community will be using the water, the people living inside the house that you designed will have nothing to use. Okay, so it's really important for you to have an idea about the water pressure in an area, because if you forget to place a water tank, it could be very problematic. It would mean that most of the fixtures won't be supplied at all. Then, plumbing should be designed and adjusted to use the minimum quantity of water consistent with proper performance and cleaning. Devices for heating and storing water shall be so designed and installed as to prevent dangers from explosion through overheating. Okay, so right now, class, and for example, if you have okay, what in my experience, one of the things right now that you're going to watch out is to make sure that when you have a heating system, especially if it's an electric type, you have to make sure that the water discharge will not be grounded. Because if that would happen, then once the client or the user of the house open the water supply, then he or she will get it electrocuted. So you should be careful uh, in this design, in the design of your heating systems uh, for your water supply. So this is something that you should know the basic of, but you should also consult with your sanitary engineer or your master plumber regarding the layout of your designs. Okay. Then each family dwelling unit shall have at least one water closet, one kitchen type sink, a lavatory, and a bathtub or shower to meet the basic requirements of sanitation and uh, personal hygiene. So I think it's common, class, that when you design, you should at least have a water closet. When you design your houses for your clients, you should have a water closet, then you should have a kitchen time sink, a lavatory where they wash their hands, and a bathtub or shower to meet the minimum basic requirements. Then you have plumbing fixtures to be made of smooth, non-absorbent material free from concealed fouling surfaces and shall be located in ventilated enclosures. Then the drainage system shall be designed, constructed, and maintained to safeguard against fouling or bad odor, deposit of solids, clogging, and adequate cleanouts so arranged that the pipes may be readily cleaned. Okay, so when you say clean outs, class, these are the pipe parts of the pipe where you clean if something is stuck. Okay? So after we have discussed here the basics of this So I think you're almost ready to design the plumbing system of a house or a building. We'll get to that exercise later on when I already feel that you're already ready for it. Okay, then all piping shall be of durable, non-pop approved materials free from defective workmanship, designed and constructed by registered master plumbers to ensure satisfactory service. Each fixture directly connected to the drainage system shall be equipped with a water sealed trap. Okay? So what's the purpose of this water sealed trap is to prevent odor from getting out of the system. Because without your P-trap class,